Hello, hello, hello. Cool, four people already. Hey, those of you who are on here before I get started, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know if the microphone's working. Just pop it in the comments if you can. Excuse me. If you can hear me, just say something in the comments there. I just gotta make a couple setting adjustments. Testing, testing. Camera, there we go. It's the right side. You hear me? Thanks, Phil. All right, I'm gonna mute for a minute, turn off the camera for a minute, just so I can get myself situated here. But thank you for joining in. Please like the video. Please share the video. I don't know what's happening. I didn't even look at the agenda. I've been so busy today, but hopefully something happens tonight. But we'll see. So stay tuned. All right, I'm talking and there's no microphone on. uh, Thanks for coming in, everyone. Um, Please continue to like and share this. Make sure it gets spread around. I don't know what's happening tonight exactly. I didn't look at the agenda, so who knows? They might surprise us. For those who don't know, we're at the Quakertown Borough Hall in Quakertown, PA, Bucks County. Um, was it 2 weeks ago now? Police chief and borough manager Scott McEllery assaulted a bunch of teenagers who were protesting from Quakertown High School. So looks like people are just starting to roll in, which is great. Meeting starts at 7:30. I will be live streaming. So make sure this gets liked, shared, and spread around because a lot of times when government entities use live streams and videos, they edit them. I do not do that. Any videos I post are completely unedited, undoctored. Um, and then I might pull clips out, but that's different. So, yes, he is currently on a workman's comp claim, even though technically he was plainclothes, which means he was acting in his capacity as a private citizen slash borough manager when he did this. So we don't know which workman's comp he's on, but frankly, he shouldn't be on either. So, put the camera down. know it can't be seen from here, but got a couple folks out on the street with signs. We got peacekeepers here, the awesome peacekeeper squad of Buxton, Montgomery County.
Jackets are they're it.
Oh, shoot. I forgot my.
Yeah, it's okay. I have a little. I think that. It's wet. Guys are healthy. Around here. Fire.
Not free.
Oh, what is this about? Yeah. I feel like when I was pulling up, there were people with signs out there, and I thought it's not Montgomery. I was like, but it was just fine.
Well,
Yeah.
So I can collaborate because he's not, he doesn't have anything.
Oh, it's such a powerful. I can see the same. Make sure, and I've got the other one piece.
Right.
John, budget here.
Yeah, thank you.
You go, John.
I do.
Are you? I like your official press pass.
Oh, yes, thank you.
I never got to see you before because it was too late. I had to go squeeze my butt off. They grabbed. Yeah. Yeah.
It was excessive force.
Let me go. I'm just. It's so. Hey,
Hey,
can I give you a hug?
yeah, hold on one second.
Okay.
Oh. All right, yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say hello to everyone. If you recognize me from TikTok, Fiona Solger, hello. Glad to be here.
What's your handle again?
Save it.
On TikTok?
Fiona Solger,
Fiona Silger. All right,
Sulger.
there we go. All right, go follow her.
She has no other message. She's like, I may or may not speak at the.
I'm gonna mute again, but yeah.
I have more to say.
Translation.
So we got a little sweatshirt action
Man,
here.
Look at me. I'm like gassing this man up.
Love
I'm like,
it.
look
This is
at
awesome.
this. I can get one of these sweatshirts.
Yeah. Just shoot me a text. Like I said, I own Prize Media. So I literally ordered this Saturday and showed it today.
Yo, that is gonna be my phone background.
Hell yeah. You see the sleeves?
Look at like arms out like Jesus.
See the sleeves?
Wait.
Yeah, so that was
Wow. Wow.
Ready.
okay.
We need to some. Ooh, wow. Hold on. Turn design. We can do
back
it.
around like you were, like eagles.
The eagle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's styling her vans. He said I'm a nurse, but I'm also a PR for my man.
I grew up in marketing.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
So marketing is what I do for my paycheck now.
It kind of goes with the name.
Yeah. He's holding his arms up like white Jesus. But you're like the redemption of white Jesus.
Called that a lot too.
Wow, I got it. This is powerful stuff.
There you go.
Powerful. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Oh, oh.
That's a good hood. Work on some designs together, right?
Absolutely. This one?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Have a cheaper.
On the second shirt, guys.
My friend's brother was murdered by the Louisiana State Police. I've
But,
seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
So this shit, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is local. I can't do shit. Yeah, I can't do it. It's like my friends and I drove through Louisiana and I started.
Hey, all, thanks for coming in.
But
For those who just tune in who don't know what's going on, thank you. We are at Quakertown Borough Hall. It is the night of the Quakertown Borough Council's action meeting. Whether they call it that, I don't know. That's anyway. This is a meeting where they can actually take action on things tonight. I have not seen the agenda, but hopefully we get a firing or two in here tonight. How you doing?
I do.
How you guys doing?
Where are you from?
Independent media.
TikTok.
Not. I do it more on Facebook and YouTube than TikTok. I always forget about TikTok. I'm a little too old for that. I mean, I do it, but it's still.
And you're only
I'm
30.
I'm 37. Even worse.
37.
Yeah.
You're too old for
I'm too old. I'm too old that I forget about it. You know, there were other video platforms when I was younger.
And our daughter's 48 and she's too old for TikTok, but 37?
I still use it, for work and stuff. But yeah, I always forget about
How
it.
do you use it for work? See, that's how we are.
Oh, so I for my business page, I also post videos on there too when I remember to, like every 6
Your TikTok business page.
Yes, yeah.
No, like the other no, you were like,
And this is your business.
No, this is just what I do for. I just do this for fun on the side. Make sure government's being held accountable and whatnot. Like we had I'm in Telford Borough technically, but my main business is here in Quakertown. But like we
What's
had
business?
Walden's Music, Walden's Music, yeah, the music shop on 309.
We don't live in Quakertown.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I gotcha. So, yeah, I do this on the side. Make sure government's being held accountable. When they post videos and streams, they tend to edit that.
Oh,
And so my stream becomes a unofficial record that's unedited, undoctored, and unaltered because they don't like to consider their videos as official records. So say an outburst happens and like a councilman starts going on an F-bomb rant.
Yep.
Well, they'll edit that from the video and pretend like it didn't happen. It won't be in the minutes or anything.
Right.
But then people can be like, well, that happened. Why is it?
Right.
Well, there's a record.
yeah,
So-
right, good.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mostly I do like where I'm in Souderton and Telford Borough. Mostly I do stuff over there, but this is a little important to.
Yeah. We
Be doing.
generally don't come to these.
Yeah.
Meetings. In fact, we don't go to our Plumstead supervisors meetings very often.
Well, there's motivation.
Well, yeah, I think it was. It was in the press release.
So when are they going to open the doors?
So meeting's supposed to start 7:30.
Oh, I thought it was 7.
7:30 tonight. Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't get that.
I mean, that's what I've seen posted last. That's where I last seen posted. Excuse me, drank that too fast. Yeah. So I mean, they should be opening it shortly. I mean, it's.
Well, they said the last meeting was 7 o'clock and they didn't open the doors till 7:15.
Yeah,
Were you here for that one?
I was. Yeah.
We didn't make that.
I stuck in. Yeah, they were trying to limit to residents only. I stuck in anyway. I'm like, I got a camera. You gotta let me in.
Oh, they're not going to let us in?
They should. It's not as crowded. They might still try and say residents in the main room, and then they did have an overflow room that's like video streamed from the main room, but apparently audio was not working right last time. Working right.
We went to the school board meeting.
Okay. Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
And that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Some doing the petitions have been here, like out all these events, all these Quakertown events. Yeah. Oh, really?
I was gonna say, I'm the only person that they're like kind of best. I'm the only one that can make that stuff. Oh, it's you guys. They're here. Let's see in there. I got the pieces. Yeah. I'm here to bring you here.
Live in this area, I'm collecting signatures. You know, you're outside.
Comes to every meeting.
I guess.
At the school board meeting.
Okay, it's the school board. Right, we're coming.
Job start is for the kids.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's 7:13 now. So
This gentleman.
Yeah. Hey, John.
hey there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share it.
I don't want the bus. I'm never done.
All right, I've got handheld just for a little bit so I can get in easier.
I don't know when.
Yeah. Whoever said that? Philip Fleming. Hey, thank you for that. Yes, I agree. This needs to go farther. Unfortunately, I think a lot of it's being buried nationally due to the actions in the Middle East right now and Ecuador for some reason. So, fortunately, it's getting buried in the national, except for independent media. There have been a couple mentions of it, like brief mentions on like the websites of the national news sites, but unfortunately, nothing hitting the airwaves. Blaze Media did pick it up, but you know how Blaze is going to blaze. So yeah, make sure likes and shares also help spread it. So I appreciate doing that. Hey, Nikki, how's it going? All right, again, for those just popping in and out or passing by, welcome in. We are at Quakertown Borough Hall. It is March 4th. Go Band. And sorry, March 4th, go Band. Tonight is the Quakertown Borough Council action meeting. Action meeting being a meeting that they can take actual action on stuff to be presented before the board. It does have to be on the agenda, but agendas can be amended as long as agendas can be amended technically at or during a meeting, as long as they don't have any contractual obligations. So I don't know if any firings, terminations are on the agenda. Hopefully there is. I have not seen it. I'm hoping they take action tonight, but we'll see. If not, we got people here. We got voices. A lot of people are starting to show up, so this is great. Well, frog. There's a frog umbrella down there. And we do have the regional media, Philly/Lehigh. There's a CBS. There's a 6ABC. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Sorry. See, this is live, people. I don't. I think there's a WHYY person here. They were supposed to be. So it's getting the local media at least. I just wish to get a little more national attention, put more pressure to get rid of this guy.
Can you hear me now?
I will say this. I've said this before. This is going to make someone mad, but you can agree about ICE. You can disagree about ICE and what they're doing and how this administration is using ICE. Cool, right?
Anybody from the press wants to get upstairs and shut up? Press.
Press first.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
I'm going that step. That's it.
What's that?
Step. No, I was talking about.
Oh, I was like, wait, but you said come in.
No, you're good. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Huh?
Here, Goldberger.
Yes, sir. Yeah, how about that? Sorry, I didn't want to keep a hot mic. That was I was speaking with Mr. Roberts about a inquiry I had into the building.
No, that's fine. It's your wonder. You must make sure.
All right, I got the agenda here. Pledge, prayer, approval of check registers, normal business stuff. Visitors will be the public comment. We have planning and zoning, revenue finance, health and safety. Those three resolutions there were stuff that were discussed at the last meeting. Utilities, some NDA, public works, parks and recs. So in other words, nothing on the agenda to deal with the issue that we were here for.
We know. The kids know.
It's still fun for you. Literally sat here and was like, oh, you can't go up there. You're not a borough member. Which I live 2 minutes from here. I can walk here. If I wanted to. What about the chief who lives an hour away and comes over here to beat kids? Gosh.
No. You can have it if you want. You have a big trainer.
Just hold it. We should hang the fragrance.
Municipal elections are in the odd numbered years in Pennsylvania. So
Yes.
I don't know how how Quakertown's setup goes. It's usually like a 5-4 alternating. I don't know if this year coming up is the 5 or the 4. I know like
Yeah, I don't care.
No.
sorry, I'm thinking school board 5-4.
Reported.
I have to look, but yeah. Either way, the elections will be.
They reported my
I don't know who was up when, but yeah, elections will be next year. Since this year in Pennsylvania is governor, certain state senate districts, all U.S. House and all PA State House districts. There's no U.S. Senate this year. That was 2024. The next U.S. Senate will be 2028. That will be Fetterman or whoever is primarying him.
They usually do it here at
Sorry, she's there.
Do you want to do a quick shot of the room here?
I'm not in.
I also kind of want to promote you.
You can just get it up there. It's a girl.
Starts here.
Because we close it down.
The famous shaker shop. No, I know. That's exactly why I think famous standards. That makes more sense.
All right, good evening. We'll bring the March 4th Borough Council meeting to order. We'll bring the March Council meeting to order. Thank you. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible.
Justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, the increase of daylight, the warmer sunshine, and the sight of impatient crocuses pushing their green heads through the thawing ground, all give testimony to the regular consistency of the world that you created. We pause now to give thanks for the material blessings we enjoy as a community, and also give thanks to the many volunteers throughout our town who contribute to the welfare and our safety. We pray that at this meeting, we might be given grace to express opinions kindly and treat one another with respect. We pray this in thy holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Roll call, please. Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Here. All right, before we start, I'd like to just read an announcement. Borough Council, before we get started, before we get started with the formal business portion of this meeting, I would like to once again briefly address the incident that occurred on the afternoon of Friday, February 20th, between a large number of student protesters from Quakertown High School and the borough's police department. All of Borough Council is very disturbed by the circumstances surrounding this incident, and we do not condone the actions of anyone who breaks the law. At the borough's request, this incident and the related circumstances are being investigated by the Bucks County District Attorney's Office. The borough and our police department are continuing to fully cooperate with this investigation. Regarding the operations at the borough, Scott McElry is on workers' compensation leave. In his absence, Doug Props, as the assistant manager, is in charge of the borough, and Lieutenant Josh Mallory, as second of command of the borough's police department, is in charge of that department. As I stated at the last public meeting, neither the borough nor its police department will be commenting further on this matter until the district attorney's office investigation is complete. Once again, we will accept public comment concerning this incident at the end of this meeting. While we are only required to accept public comment from borough residents and taxpayers under the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act, since this incident involves the Quakertown Community School District and its students, we will accept public comment from anyone who resides within the boundaries of the school district. If you are not such a resident, we will not accept public comment from you. In this regard, as you can see, we have an overflowing meeting room. If you're not a resident of the borough or the school district, we ask that you please leave the meeting room so the residents will be able to attend the meeting in this room. We have a second meeting room so that residents or other people will be able to watch the proceedings of this meeting televised. And you'll be directed to that room. Likewise, if we do not have space in this meeting room for all residents who wish to speak on the matter, we will be asking people who have spoken to leave the room so that others can enter to provide their public comment. Those of you who plan to provide public comment, please keep in mind that council has a policy which limits each person's public comment to 5 minutes. Thank you. I would also announce that we had an executive session on Wednesday, February 25th for matters of personnel. Next then on the agenda, we have council minutes from February 4th and the work session from January 26th.
Was there approval? Second.
Moved and second. Any questions on those minutes? Hearing none, roll call please.
Johnson?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, the minutes are approved. We have various check registers that the administration is seeking our approval.
I move we approve the check registers dated January 30th, February 4th, February 12th, February 20th, February 24th for the amounts listed.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions on any of those proposed disbursements? Hearing none, roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Abstain. Yes.
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 Yes, the disbursements are approved for payment. We've received various financial statements and department reports.
I make a motion to receive and file the financial statement and departmental reports. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions on any of those? Hearing none, Chris, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, so they'll be filed. This is the time of the meeting. Is there any visitors in the audience which would like to address council for matters that are on the agenda? Yes. Yes, what would be the subject? Just the subject.
February 20th.
I'm sorry?
February 20th.
February 20th. You can look again.
Oh, at the end.
Okay.
Okay. At the end. Yeah, those comments will be taken.
Thank you.
All right.
Point of
Any progress being made on that?
You can look the other day.
You keep the computer now.
No, we're still negotiating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not sitting there, it's
No.
talks.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Jim. Health, safety and welfare, Councilman Johnson.
I have 3 things on the agenda. We spoke about all 3 of them at the work session.
sorry, I had a call
First one is
coming.
resolution number 15-26. Whereas the council of the Borough of Quakertown is willing to aid in the reduction of the spread of West Nile virus. Now therefore be resolved that the council of the Borough of Quakertown grants permission for the Bucks County Department of Health allowing a mosquito treatment program by dusting impacted water basins and implementing mosquito traps. And I so move.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any questions on the county's request? Hearing none, roll call?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes, motion passes.
Next, I have resolution number 16-26. Whereas a request was received from Robert Wool of Quakertown, Pennsylvania, to hold a car show downtown for a cause on Sunday, September 20th, 2026, from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a rain date of September 27th, 2026, and request the closure of Broad Street from 4th Street to Howard Avenue, Branch Street, and parts of Front Street, 3rd Street, and 2nd Street. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Borough of Quakertown grants the request of Robert Wool to close the above stated streets for a car show, provided the borough received approval from PennDOT to close Broad Street and that the borough has added additional insured on their insurance. And I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call?
Johnson?
Yes.
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes.
Bell?
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes.
And the last one I have is resolution number 17-26. Whereas an event application was received from the Quakertown American Legion to hold an annual Memorial Day Parade and includes 9th Street, West 12th Street from 9th Street to 3rd Street, 4th Street and Mill Street between 9th Street and 4th Streets. Now therefore be resolved that the Council of the Borough of Quakertown grants the American Legion's request to hold a Memorial Day Parade on Monday, May 25th, 2026, beginning at 8 a.m. Use of the band shell and closing of the both stated streets, provided the borough has added additional insured in their insurance. And now therefore, now be it further resolved that the Borough Council of the Borough of Quakertown waives the fee for the use of the band shell. And I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? The annual event that the Legion puts on. Roll call, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes.
Bell?
Yes.
Ware?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes.
I have nothing further.
Okay, does anyone else have anything for health, safety, welfare? Okay, thank you, Mike. Public utilities, Councilman Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have one thing on the agenda. It says resolution 20-26. We talked about this at our work session. And read as follows. Whereas the Council of the Borough of Quakertown authorizes the borough manager or authorized borough official to execute the proposed mutual non-disclosure agreement regarding the wastewater plant upgrade between the borough and Energy and Technology LLC on behalf of the borough. Motion.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? This would be an extension of an existing agreement. Hearing none, roll call?
Johnson?
Yes.
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes.
Bell?
Yes.
Ware?
Yes.
Wheeling?
Yes.
Yes, motion passes.
That is all I have for public utilities.
All right, does anyone have anything for public utilities? Okay, thank you, Dave. Public Works, Councilwoman Ware.
Mr. President, no, I do not.
Is on leave from all three.
Does anyone have anything for Public Works? Yes, thank you, Mary. Parks and Rec.
Alex Brooks is
Thank you, Mr. President.
covering his role as borough manager.
Discussed at the work session.
And there's an officer that's covering the
Resolution 1926, whereas in
role for the chief.
the Quakertown American Legion to hold a Patriots Day ceremony in recognition of the 25th year anniversary of 9/11 attacks at the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Shanksville, which killed nearly 3,000 people.
The right to know officer is technically an appointment. I don't believe it's actually paid.
A large number of anticipated
To my knowledge.
military and fire apparatus.
Usually it's assigned to someone that's already in a payroll and they just dedicate time to that.
Resolved that the Council of the Borough of Quakertown grants the Quakertown American Legion request to hold a 9/11 25th anniversary recognition in the park at Ford on September 11th, 2026, provided the borough is added as an additional short on their insurance.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call?
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes.
And last, resolution 1826, whereas Joan Paplica of the Tohickon Watershed Association has requested to hold a stream cleanup, including removal of trash at the Licking Stream from the Fourth Street to 9th Street Bridge, with the help of volunteers on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Be it resolved that the Council of the Borough of Quakertown grants the Tohickon Watershed Association to hold a stream cleanup on April 22nd, 2026, provided the borough is added as an additional insured in their insurance. And I'm so moved.
Second. Moved and second. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes.
That's all.
Does anyone else have anything for Parks and Rec? Okay, thank you, John. Now we'll turn over to the public comment, and I'm gonna, so I'm going to Solicitor Nelson Sam.
So just like if you were here last week, we're gonna handle it the same way. We are now going to accept public comment in regards to the incident that occurred on Friday, February 20th. As the borough president had just stated, the borough is only going to accept public comment from borough residents or from and taxpayers or residents who live within Quakertown Community School District. If you are not such a resident, we ask that you please do not approach the podium. Please do not attempt to give us public comment. We will not accept it. If those of you who wish to give public comment, when I'm done speaking, I ask that you line up behind the podium. We are required by law to get your name and address. The one thing that's different is we're gonna ask for you. There's a small podium behind the main podium with a paper on it. If you're going to speak, we're gonna ask that you please write down your name and address there. We're still gonna ask you to announce it when you come up, but this way we don't have to ask you to spell it or say it again if we didn't catch it. We need your name and address for the minutes. We just want to make sure that it's all spelled and stated correctly. As the borough president stated, you're gonna need to keep your comments at 5 minutes or less.
They don't need the spelling address, they just do.
Last Monday, we have a lot of people who want to get through this. So I will give you a warning,
They can't stop you for
you know,
not giving the address.
2, 3, 4 minutes in, how much time you have left. And I will give you another warning about 30 seconds to go, asking you to wrap it up. Because of the number of people who wish to speak, I am going to be strict on the timing, and I ask you to please be respectful when I ask you to wrap it up and to within the 5 minutes. And likewise, like we said before, if all you want to do is say, hey, I agree with all the people who spoke before me or a particular person, you can please say that. You don't have to repeat the whole thing.
They just don't want to hear from you.
Allow us to get through everyone and to hear from everyone. Likewise, if there's a large group of you that all wish to say the same thing, we ask that you please appoint a spokesperson and have that person
There
speak for
are
you.
things in the Biscuit Ascension.
You need to address your comments to Borough Council, not to the rest of the audience, not to a particular person in the audience. It's addressed to the Borough Council. We're not going to put up with people in the audience talking back and forth to each other. We're not going to put up with personal attacks, derogatory remarks, foul language. We will tell you to stop immediately if that happens. Likewise, we expect everyone to act here in an adult-like, mature, professional manner. We don't want to hear booing. We don't want to hear you making, comments to speakers that you disagree with or shouting them down. Everyone has a right to talk. We're going to listen to everyone. And we expect you all to respect that. If, however, this meeting gets out
Council
and we cannot run it in a professional and appropriate manner,
authority in this room.
the Borough Council
About how
has
many
the
are outside.
absolute right to
Where there's special
permanently adjourn this meeting. So we ask you once again to please act mature and allow everyone to speak. And we will get through tonight and everyone will be able to participate like they should. With that being said, I ask that you please line up behind the podium and we will start the public comment now. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Caroline DiVenuto and I'm from Quakertown, Borough.
It's everyone's favorite troll.
I'm here.
Yes, please, you, before you get started, you write your name and address down.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. You may begin.
Thank you, sir. I'm here to say that it doesn't matter what political party that we align with, our local police department was sent on a fool's errand. The poor leadership of our school is to blame, not our first responders. Actions have consequences, and it's time for parents to grow up and discipline their children like the rest of us. My children have been blackmailed, threatened, and bullied all week long by the kids these parents are claiming were bullied. It's more than obvious after last week where these children learned how to be bullies. If you remember, I was called every name in the book for standing up here exercising my right of free speech. Thankfully, my kids are just like me and they don't care, but I have all the screenshots in the comments, and if it continues, I will be opening up another investigation. The Bucks County Herald, the Courier-Times, Solidarity News, Philly Burbs, and Channel 3, 6, and 10 have not reported the news. They reported their agenda. None of these media outlets should have a press credential after the slander and deceit spread throughout my neighborhood. The only credible source in this room is Fox News. What's up, Freddie? When people knowingly withhold the truth and the facts for their own political gain, that's called public manipulation. I would hope we can learn to think more independently moving forward after the way the press has behaved. They were worse than the children who were spitting, kicking, and tackling the chief of police. The media is a joke, the school is a thief, and the public is just caught in the crossfire. We need to do better and stop letting the circus run through this town and put our name on the tagline. This is our neighborhood. These are our kids, our tax dollars, and our decisions. Our community needs to stop watching the news and start talking to each other about what's actually happening. I've been out talking to my neighbors all week, and none of them agree with playing the victim, blaming our officers, or with content for likes and views. If you're going to turn this into an online joke, you might as well tell the truth, because it's comical. Our superintendent has resigned. He thinks that I'm going to stop investigating what he did with our money for the past 7 years. He thinks I'm going to stop writing the FBI, the Department of Education, the IRS, the Attorney General, and the State Department. And if that's not funny, I don't know what is. I have court tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And just to let you know, everybody, we paid for his legal fees out of our tax dollars so that they can put parents like us in jail for speaking up. That's what your tax money is paying for. If that's not corruption, I don't know what is. Like I said, we have bigger fish to fry. Give the cops a break. Thanks.
Like, yeah, choke children, just give them a break. Punch them in the head, give them a break.
Hey.
That's strike one.
Okay.
Let her go. See her ass.
Stop.
Thank you.
That's strike one there too.
Next up.
Next
We're
person.
even. I'll have to be two strike.
Good evening. My name is David Stabanis. I live on Hillcrest Road here in Quakertown. I've been a member of this community for over a decade. I'm also a witness who filmed much of the events that transpired that day. Which from the point the students left the school to the point that they were attacked by unidentified law enforcement was less than a half hour. I would also like to state for the record that although I did not witness all of the events that day, when I was within visual range, I saw these students breaking no laws aside from skipping school. I didn't see anyone throwing anything damaging property or blocking traffic. I would like to ask the borough, is there equal justice in this community? Or is old Jim Crow still standing in the shadows? Why have charges not been brought up on the diesel truck driving students who colluded with recent graduates and other adults to conspire against rights? Assault protesting students' ears and lungs with their deafening illegal air horns and modified mufflers to blow exhaust on pedestrians, whose disorderly conduct incited and otherwise caused a threat to public safety and disturbed the peace. Even the tint on their windows was most likely not legal. Make no mistake about it, these individuals were not there in any capacity of peaceful assembly. Their intentions were solely to threaten and intimidate the walkout protesting students. Before anyone says kids will be kids, or we all did stuff like that when we were their age, I say we got arrested. Could it be that these antagonists are the sons or possibly representatives of our municipalities? Who, as long as they don't kill anyone or rape too many girls at parties, they get off scot-free? I hope not. I really hope not. By not seeking accountability for those involved in clashing with protesters, you are sending a clear-cut message. Fear that many minorities and marginalized people in this community and other communities across the nation live in is justified. Trust has been broken in this community, and when trust is broken, there leaves a foothold for fear. And when people live in scared, they do foolish things. What are we prepared to do to regain trust from this community? On to my next question. Has the Quakertown Borough Police Force been screened for pro or anti-Trump derangement syndrome? Are their actions as officers being affected by a known mental illness which may be preventing them from fulfilling their duties to uphold the law without political bias? Is it possible that the chief of police didn't see children but saw the enemy due to a mental illness that is being caused in our nation due to the volatility of our political climate? With the heavy police presence I saw that day, why were there no officers on bikes or on foot to safeguard these children and the rest of the community? The police force was made aware that there was a threat of violence towards these students prior to the walkout. Authorities were also made aware that the students walked out even after the demonstration was canceled. These young students were on foot, yet all the police in the surrounding area that I witnessed were only making passes in patrol cars. It doesn't make a lot of sense that no one from law enforcement provided escort to discourage harassment and encourage civil interactions from the protesting students, as was done and is still being done in so many communities throughout our nation. I feel our police force dropped the ball on so many levels, between the escalation of violence, their complacency in regards to the men harassing and assaulting the senses of these children, to the excessively long time children were held in custody. I feel the responsibility of these failures go to the top of the food chain in our police force. I ask the chief be removed from public office
Yes.
and charged for his crime. And criminal investigations be opened on the organized racist truck drivers who think they own this town and are above the law. Thank you.
A white man, it needs to be him. That's a good white man.
My name is William Hahn. I live at 107 South Quakertown Avenue. I live in Borough here and I have children in the schools. They aren't in high school yet, but I'm a concerned parent as well. I don't want to talk specifically about the incident. I wanted to talk about a few things that I experienced since then. And the first thing I would talk about was I participated in a little singing marching protest that followed the route of the students and stopped in front of Sundays. And while we were doing that, I don't know if it was because we were moving, we weren't in one place. I don't know if it was because tensions are higher after what happened, and it was for our protection or the protection of others in the community. But there were a lot of police driving by. Frequently 2 vehicles at a time, one after the other. Then there were 2 parked along the route back from Sundays directly to the school. Again, 2 cars. And then 2 cars in the school parking lot where we had parked. And maybe it's just the stoic faces cops might have, but I think they were mad. Like I said, I don't know the reason they were driving around and parking on our route like that. Maybe I'm misinterpreting the situation, but I can tell you what it felt like to me. It felt like they were trying to intimidate us. Maybe that was all in my head, but even still, I think that represents a problem. And of course, if it was meant as intimidation, that's obviously a big issue. Now, I'm a big guy and I don't get intimidated very easily. So every time they drove by, or we walked by them, I tried to make eye contact and make sure they saw my sign. I have my sign with me tonight. I guess I'm not supposed to address the police, but if they care to look, there's my sign.
Can you show us over here? You don't see it. Thank you.
I was outside.
Wow. Just have to look at back and forth.
sorry, I lost my place. And I brought it tonight because I thought there might be officers here who didn't see it, that I still wanted to see it. It was excessive force. I don't really care what that teenage girl or those other kids did, or what they were doing, short of having and using a deadly weapon, which no one has claimed. I can't think of something they could have been doing to justify a chokehold on a teenage girl.
Yes, that one now.
No one found a man in plain clothes who was unrecognizable as a cop. Even if he identified himself as a cop, I mean, anyone can say they're a cop. When I saw some of the videos, it took some convincing for me to believe he was the chief of police. I just thought he was some agitator who disagreed with the children and got violent. So I call that excessive force. And actually, I called detaining those kids for a long weekend and some for almost a week. That was also excessive.
Yes, yes.
For chemical monitors is also excessive force. And in addition to that, I think it's meant to be intimidation. 2 minutes. But I saw something else last night before it got dark. I was walking to the library and I saw 3 kids. They looked like high school kids standing on the corner where QMB is, right over there. They had signs that said, "Fire the chief of police." 3 kids in this town that close to the police station after what happened. I gotta tell you, that's pretty darn brave, I think. I hope that the excessive force and intimidation doesn't scare these kids so that they do not express their First Amendment rights, and stand up for what they believe in. I hope for that because I saw those kids.
Thank you so much.
My name is Toby Tenuta. I live on 10 North 17th Street in Allentown, and although I am not a resident of the borough, me and my partner are both employees and taxpayers of the borough. So please forgive me reading from my phone. It is the easiest way to stay cohesive during this otherwise outraging matter. Obviously, I'm sorry.
Your employees where in the borough?
Both at 4 Cats Only, which is a vet clinic at a strip mall up the street.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Obviously, we know why I'm here, and this obviously extends beyond a school issue, a youth issue. It is a matter of public accountability and justice. We were talking about a situation in which a police officer and the chief of police at that, McElroy, had placed his arms around a student's throat. Choking is not a sign of restraint nor de-escalation.
No.
Unlike, I will give credit to the officer who originally approached to capture their attention rather than grab them. Along with that, that is a dangerous use of force and carries a severe risk of injury or death. I want to be clear, I'm not asking the council to act as a court of law, and as you addressed at the beginning of the meeting, the DA's investigation into the situation. We have our checks and balances along with our separate departments for a reason, but I'm asking for the moral authority as representatives of them. If a private citizen were accused of choking a minor or even an adult for that matter, whether myself or anyone else in this room, I don't know that I would be standing here today as opposed to being on a t-shirt compared to McElroy, who is on, as you said, workers' compensation.
Yes.
The fact that the involved authority figure makes the response feel more cautious. I'm sorry, not more cautious, but more forgiving and tolerant of it being okay to put a 15-year-old girl in a headlock. Especially considering strikes had not started if you review either side of the videos that had been captured from that day until the picture here before they were all on the ground. However, after he had already held that girl in his arm. What makes this worse is the disparity in how justice has been applied. The students involved, students were arrested for and have pending charges for a felony level of aggravated assault, amongst other things, despite acting in self-defense. As I said, no strike was thrown until after this girl had been grabbed. These young people are now facing life-altering legal consequences for reacting to force rather than against them.
Yes, yes.
Including, if you see in those videos before McElroy approached the crowd, they had their attention. There was no contact, no aggression, maybe some differing opinions, but nothing beyond that. The exact imbalance sends a message. It tells students that their safety matters less than authority with a conflicting opinion. It tells them that defending themselves can ruin their lives. It tells the public that accountability stops when someone else has a title and a badge. At this point, I want to remind everyone here of something important. I'm sorry, the council of something important. That student protesting is nothing new, nor including leaving school grounds. We've seen this as early, video reported as early as the 60s with civil rights movements, with Iraqi war, anti-Vietnam, immigration reform, specifically in 2006, not that we've come that far in 20 years, including my own high school growing up, Black Lives Matter movements and abolish ICE movements nationwide, including William Allen High School and Darius High School. As someone, I'm sorry.
2 minutes.
Understood. As somebody who attended the William Allen High School protest specifically, as a neighboring house to that high school, the police were not chokeholding adults or minors for that matter, but rather Allentown Police Department and Lehigh Valley Sheriff's Office were there, if nothing else, to make sure the students crossed the street safely. What we are seeing now is a chilling effect on civic engagement when students arrested, charged with felonies, and publicly vilified for protesting, and defending themselves. Other young people learn a lesson: stay quiet or pay the price. All while not a single strike was thrown at McElry. Until McElry had barged through the otherwise contained crowd that had the attention of the officer who first approached. This is not a lesson. This is not the lesson a healthy community should want to teach. So tonight I'm asking for clarity and courage from this council simply on the termination of Scott McElry. Like I previously said, not expecting a criminal charge on the council side, as you are not a court of law nor the DA's office. However, a full independent criminal review of his actions and charges pursued where appropriate, given that he was not only a borough manager, and the chief of police. So expecting for thinking, please forgive me for thinking the DA's office might be skewed on the matter.
Please start wrapping up, sir.
Absolutely. Beyond that, just a reassessment and dismissal of the felony charges, and a clear commitment to Quakertown to protect lawful Quakertown. Thank you.
Laura Foster, Mountain View Drive, Quakertown, Spain.
Foster,
Yes,
what township do you live in?
I'm at Quakertown mailing address and I work in the community.
I believe your address is in East Rock Hill Township, correct?
It's my driver's license says Quakertown. My taxes go, if you pull up my taxes, they go to Quakertown. So
But
I am,
what
my,
school district
all of
are
my
you in?
district.
What school district?
On my property, I'm not really comfortable talking about where I live. This is a concern, some of us are concerned about our safety. This is an issue. I do have, I'm not answering you. I do have a Quakertown mailing address. Yes, I do.
You just let her speak.
So I'm one of the leads for Upper Bucks United, and I work in the community.
It's our understanding you're not a resident who lives within the Quakertown Community School District, and as we've said.
I
at
do,
the beginning,
I have a Quakertown mailing address. I'm gonna ask to receive my time.
There's
And
some
so-
people who have Quakertown mailing address are not in the school district.
You just let a man from Allentown speak.
I work in the community. I pay taxes in the community. I pay taxes.
Okay, what job do you have
New
within
Life.
Quakertown Borough?
I'm a clinician at UVT Wellness and Recovery.
And where is that located?
One now, she works here.
All up and down Broad Street.
You are an employee of a business that works in Quakertown Borough.
This is the second time I'm saying this, third time. I work in the community. I work 2 blocks away. I pay taxes here. I have a Quakertown mailing address. That's enough. I'm gonna ask for my time to start now instead of this back and forth with whatever. It is that- Are you recording me with your phone?
No, I am not.
Who wants her to speak?
Not-
We all want her to speak. We all want her to speak.
That it's not your decision.
We know.
We are trying to run this meeting and run it fairly, and we're trying to treat everyone equal.
Sounds like you've been investigating me. That's what it sounds like. I would like to start my 5 minutes, starting now and not from this time. Thank you. So my name is Laura Foster. I live in the community and I work in the community. I'm also a lead for Upper Bucks United. We are an advocacy group that serves the areas of Quakertown, Palisades, and Penridge. Before I begin, I would like to address this, that public speakers have to public speakers have to submit their full home address. Many members of our community are fearful to speak due to retaliation. I ask that you kindly revisit this regulation. You can easily ask for town or borough like school boards do. They are under the same state laws as you. Transparency should be applied equally. If residents must publicly identify themselves, this council must also be fully accountable for its actions tonight. Are you all comfortable with giving your home addresses? It seems only fair. I mean, if you like, I have them all right here. I could read them out loud so everybody knows all of your home addresses, but I'm not, because that's not what adults do. That is not an ethical thing to do, so I will not do that. But I would ask kindly for all of you to share where it is that you live, as well as our community members to come up and give their home addresses. Tonight is about standing up and doing the right thing. The systems have failed our community. They have failed our children. Now is your opportunity to fix it and to make our story of how a community has come together to rise above problems that were forced upon us, not to sit in silence in the face of what now has become a national tragedy. The eyes of the country are watching you.
Come on now.
Thousands of people have signed the petition demanding that Scott be fired from all his positions within the borough. As of 5 p.m. today, over 12,300 have signed that petition. Please do the right thing. I spent the last week walking this community and talking to our local businesses, our families, our local representatives. One thing that was universally clear with this, including our state representative, is that no one can believe what has happened. You should ask Craig what his thoughts are on this. I think you'd be enlightened to see that maybe there are people who, regardless of politics, do not agree with what happened. There was one community member that I spoke with, and their words have stayed with me to this day because of how the actions of what happened on that day and what Scott did has stuck with her. She was there at the protest. She saw the children coming up. She has said to me and the other folks that she will never forget the rage that Scott had in his eyes as he left that unmarked vehicle and ran through a bunch of white kids and targeted the Hispanic kid and tackled her to the ground.
Wow, hate crime.
This is a huge issue. I know you guys. I see you at the gym. I see you at the community festivals. I see you at Quakertown Alive. I see you at the churches. This is not just a community, like me speaking as an outside community. This is your community too. This is a place where you live. This is a place where these children who are sitting here are your responsibility as well. This isn't about us versus them. This is all of us. The work that we are doing through Upper Bucks United is work that is holding into trying to build back a community. We're doing it because the adults in the room failed to do so.
Come on now.
Our police team failed to support and provide a safe environment for these children. You are failing to act as leaders in this community, to stand up for our children, to build a safe community back. I don't need to be doing this. You all should be doing this.
Come on.
What are you doing right now? What are you doing to build the community? Have you been talking to the faith leaders? Have you been asking the Peace Center to come out? Have you been making one statement that in any way understand some kindness and empathy for what happened to these children? You may not agree. So I ask that you look at me when I'm talking to you. I specifically want to address something that happened earlier in the meeting. When you're going over the rules and regulations, and there's children here.
Ms. Foster, please direct your comments to the council as a whole. Don't take out a single person.
Okay, to the council as a whole.
Personal attack.
Let me just talk directly. So I will make eye contact with who I may be talking to. So this is your response. Like, I actually appreciate this dialogue. And the part of this is like when there are children here, they're exercising their civic duty. Why can't we see that as beauty? Yeah, they're going to be talking to each other because they are kids. You have kids. This person over here, other people have kids. Like, don't you know how kids act? Don't you know that they're going to be whispering and saying this, that, and the other? To give them glaring looks and to stop what you are doing, to glare at children. This is not the.
Please,
This is
Scott,
not the.
wrap up, Ms. Foster.
This is not the leadership that we need. We need a leader that sees them and says, hey, you know what? It's great that they're engaging in civic duty. You do not have to wait for Joe Kahn to do an investigation for you to make a decision.
Come on now.
I asked for one of you to make a motion to put on the agenda, this person here, please kindly put this on the agenda so that you can vote today to have a vote on if Scott should stay on the payroll here or not.
Come on now.
One person has to do it. And then we can at least,
30-year-old for 5 minutes.
we can at least hear what you all have to say. Thank you.
My name is Zachary Kohler. I live on Glenwood Ave, Quakertown. My wife and I have a daughter at Ida Elementary. On Friday, February 20th, my wife and I were headed to lunch when we came across Front Street blocked off with a large police presence. At first, we thought ICE was conducting a raid. Then I saw a group of students by the train station. One student was holding a sign that said, "No one is illegal on stolen land." That sign was covered in blood.
Chief's blood.
And children's blood.
He began to yell to us that his friends were beaten by police and arrested. We immediately parked the car at Trolley Barn, walked up and began to just listen to the students. They told us about the walkout and I handed out all the Know Your Rights cards I had in my bag. I got contact information from the kid with the bloody sign. My wife and I promised to share their story. They were scared, soaking wet, yet undeterred. By now, we've all seen the videos of what happened that day. Those kids were defending their friend from an unknown assailant, and I would expect my daughter to do the same. The scene was escalated by the chief after he was triggered by the kids chanting. We're incredibly fortunate that he didn't kill any of them.
Yes.
In the week following the brutality, the police presence, as far as I saw in town, was virtually non-existent. The town didn't burn down. It didn't erupt into chaos. We held a small rally last Wednesday on Broad Street and didn't see one Quakertown police vehicle. Then I realized it's us that keeps us safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep us safe.
Those kids tried to keep themselves safe from harassment from low IQ individuals rolling coal, blowing air horns, and spewing white supremacist remarks. Then a red-faced old man in a brown shirt barged into the crowd and started grabbing their friend, and they did what they could to keep their friend safe.
Yes.
The police do not keep us safe. They show up after the fact and brutalize.
Yep, come on now.
We're told there was a threat posted to walk out, but it turns out the biggest threat that the kids faced was the police chief. Scott McElry needs to be fired, arrested, and every day this investigation drags on, this wound festers. Every day we don't get answers, the pressure continues to build. Should the Bucks DA clear him of wrongdoing, this town, frankly, the county, the state, and people across this country will be outraged. I promise you this. We will be present and loud at every event hosted by the borough. Univest concerts, street fairs, you name it, we'll be there, loud. It's running. Until then, we keep showing up here. We'll keep raising funds for the kids. We'll keep signing petitions. We'll continue organizing and meeting our neighbors. We'll continue shaming Scott and the feckless leadership of the town on social media. I respect the calls for calm and understanding from local leaders. But frankly, we the people are going to keep the temperature right where it is, and we're going to turn it up if we have to. We're not going away. No justice, no peace. Thank you.
Before we get started, sir, hold on, Suzanne. We have approximately 30 people outside the meeting room who want to come in and speak. So if you've already speak, I ask that you please leave, let these other people in so they can speak also. Thank you.
Thank you, council. My address is 245 Marshall Drive. I'm going to keep this as short as possible. I'm here on behalf of every concerned citizen about what happened at Front and Juniper. In fact, my mother used to own Moondog Yoga that was located there. before Sundays took over. I'm not here to take sides or say who was right or wrong. I'm just here to say what I've seen and read. Because I believe everyone here was wrong. And for the sake of our community, I believe we should hold ourselves to a higher standard. It is my understanding that the Quakertown High School originally supported the student protest and was communicating with law enforcement about the occurrence. For whatever reason, the school canceled. I'm not saying this cancellation isn't valid, but it was ignorant to assume this would not ignite the students further in their passion for their beliefs. We were able to prepare for this, but somehow we just weren't. It is also to my understanding that local law enforcement is meant to protect and serve, but in the videos that have surfaced, I did not see protection. I saw aggravated assault onto minors. There are many people that I see driving around on our streets with Second Amendment and "Don't tread on me" bumper stickers. People who believe in their constitutional right to self-defense, but when our children are faced with the same circumstance, they're put in jail. Not only do I believe it's the responsibility of our police to respect the constitutional right to assembly, but I also believe that as parents and neighbors, it is our responsibility to lead our youth by example, that this country hold true to the promise and rights it has put upon its citizens, and to teach our children to stand up for what they believe is right, in this case, protecting their classmates. It's not that the students are absolved of wrongdoing though. If you're going to stand up, there will always be people who will tell you to sit down. And in order to still stand, it takes diligence and it takes organization to do it properly, to minimize the amount of potential harm and legal ramifications that could be a result. That being said, these students are some of the bravest members of our community, braver than I and adults twice their age. What they did was American. But I'm sure they realize that the America they read about in school is very different from the America they face outside. I can't just stand here and not offer a possible solution. Possibly we can talk about if a student chooses to leave school property during the school day, that the school is no longer responsible and that they will be treated as a civilian and not a school responsibility. That way the school can avoid legal troubles and the students can still engage in their First Amendment rights. I don't even know if it's possible. It was a thought that I had. But now more than ever, it's important that we unpack these ideologies of America.
2 minutes.
We hold them so dear. We've never been more divided. But 250 years ago in Bucks County, on these very grounds we walk today, citizens just like ourselves banded together. They stood against tyranny and authoritarianism, and we owe it to them and our children to preserve its legacy. Thank you.
Hi, Donald and team and family, whatever you call yourselves. May, John, James, Doug, Don, Peter, Dave, Timothy, Michael. I want to humanize you guys in a way that we have not been humanizing children, okay? They have names, they have faces. My name is Kelsey Nielsen. You remember me, bright wing windbreaker. Got some color on today, but a little toned down. I want to ask you guys, and I know you're not supposed to answer questions. Are any of you parents? May looks like she's a mom, grandma maybe, grandmom a few times over. Think about if those were your grandbabies, May. I want you to put some humanity into these kids, even if you disagree with their politics, even if you love ICE, you love seeing our neighbors deported. If you love that and you get off on that, by all means. But if you have a soul and a conscience, even if you disagree with the political ideologies of teenage children, you may be disagreeing with your fellow peers who protested the Vietnam War, May. But guess what? The Vietnam War killed a lot of innocent civilians in the name of American democracy. There was no war on communism. It was a war on the billionaire pedophilic elite. And that is exactly who bombed and killed a bunch of schoolgirls in Iran, 160 school children. It's the same government that allows these police to choke out children and punch them in the head on video, and somehow the children are the criminals?
Come on now, we have a moral conscience. You're a woman, I'm a woman. The matriarchy needs to rise up and stop allowing these pedophilic, child abusing, child trafficking demons to keep harming children. We're tired of from Palestine to Quakertown, Pennsylvania, to Congo, to Sudan, to Iran. We're tired of children being harmed. We're tired of violence against children going unchallenged. At very minimum, we need to say we denounce this. It's not okay. And we need to start standing up for children because, like I said before, I don't know what God you worship. I don't know what God you were praying to earlier, Donald and team. But if you believe in the one true and living God, I believe that God is a God of justice, a God of liberation, a God that does not take kindly to child abuse. Whether it's pedophilia, whether it's choking out kids, punching them in the head, you have to stand before your creator and you have to answer before him. That's a worse jury than any jury in this earth. So I want to say that Scott McElroy will have to answer before God. All the cops, all the borough, all the school district will have to answer before the one true and living God. And guess what? I don't want to be there on that judgment day. I know who I answer to and I'm good. So with all due respect, drop the charges on all these children and charge the real criminal, Scott McElroy. He needs those aggravated assault charges. He needs a laundry list. He doesn't just need to lose his job. He needs to be fired. Never a pension, never a dollar for this township. Go fund the West Nile virus. Fund the prevention of the West Nile virus. Fund the fake whatever you're mourning 9/11 because that was an inside job. You can call me crazy. The US government did that so we could go to war with Afghanistan and kill how many innocent people? My friends are from Afghanistan. My friends are refugees in this area from Afghanistan in Bucks County. And we bombed their country into oblivion because we wanted their minerals. And then we manufacture villains. We manufacture villains, and guess what? These kids stood up to the villains. These kids said, we don't want you kidnapping and deporting our neighbors. We don't want you kidnapping and deporting our parents. One of the girls who organized this protest, her father was deported to Mexico by ICE. That girl deserves her father. I bet she's a better father than most of you because he probably stood up for his child. He probably cared about his child being protected, and he can't even do that because this demon government deported him back to a country that he bombed and destabilized. So, with all due respect, you have to answer before God. I don't care about answering to me or anybody else. You have to answer before God and you have to answer to these children. So if you want to sleep at night, if you want your moral conscience to be clear, if you have a soul, if you have a moral conscience, I hope y'all do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Aaron Rumsey, Richland Town Borough. I just wanted to take a moment and let you know that this isn't going away. And we are not going to be quieted or silenced by looks or other things because this isn't just someone melanated, a stranger on the street, a hardened criminal in a chokehold here by an officer out of uniform. I can't even utter the word chief because that's not what it means to me. This is a young woman that belongs to all of us. And the responsibility for our students, our children, belong to all of us. If you have kids of your own, how would you feel if this was their photo all over the world right now? Would it bring pride or fear? I know you can't answer any questions, or maybe it's by choice, but I have to tell you, the fear that is living in our students right now is the fear of the people that are supposed to protect them. The fear that is living in our students right now that is giving them nightmares is the fact that they saw their bestie in a chokehold and feared for her life. And let me tell you something about all of the spin that's going on around the other students and their violence towards the police and what have you. We all know how that was instigated. Like it's out there for you, just plain as day. Yep. But let me tell you this. I'm already proud of my kids. But them having friends like that makes me even more proud. Yeah. Because I want my kids to have friends that stand up for them and have their back, no matter what. We can sort things out later, but we'll go in and try to ensure their safety in a situation where they are faced with on a daily basis predators in the news, predators running the country, predators everywhere. They looked at what happened, and to get, by the way, a consistent story across the board from teenagers regarding what they thought during a stressful interaction like this, and to have them all 100% without even talking to each other, indicate time and time again that all of this violence was incited by the actions of this man right here. Like, I don't even believe in saying his name at this point. They all have the same story. And with that, they're listening to see if you believe them or not. And I think it's really important that we start to listen. They are our future. They belong to all of us. And I for sure am proud of all of those students that day. Like, what skipping school? Who had anybody off? They did it for a rightly cause. They need to drop the charge and free the kids fully. Yes. And really pursue the criminal that was present that day, who not only was guilty of inciting violence and a riot at a peaceful protest, but almost killing a 14-year-old young woman who just happens to be melanated. And most of her friends just had to be melanated that were at the protest with her. This seems targeted. This is hateful. This is not a crime against the students individually. This was a crime against what they stood for. Thank you. This is a crime. This is a crime against what they stood for. This was a hate crime.
Yes, it was.
You don't want to be on the wrong side of this. If you have the power to make a motion and take a vote now,
Come on.
like, can we do that?
Yes.
Yes. What is holding you back? Because I don't believe that the DA is going to keep the venue where it's at right now. Like, I don't see that being possible. I can't see this not being a tainted trial. Is this a tainted council? Or are you the good people that I believe I voted for in some cases? Like, can we just make a motion now and get it on the book? Come on now. And I'm not talking about firing. There need to be charges.
Yes.
There needs to be accountability. If there's accountability for those students, they've been through enough time served.
Yes.
There needs to be accountability here. And I'm sorry if this is your friend, but really, I'm really sorry if this is your friend.
Yes.
Because he's not nearly as good of a friend to you as these students were looking out for.
Talk about it.
This young woman, my daughter, and multiple other students that were out there and put their lives on the line that day unexpectedly.
Please wrap it up.
So I thank you for your time. I hear my awards ceremony music on, and I need to wrap it up. But thank you for your time. Please consider.
Hi, my name is Anastasia, and I'm part of Quakertown. I live right by the Quakertown Farmers Market. But I've only lived here for about 6 years now. I grew up in South Jersey in Camden County, and I went to school in Philadelphia, in really South Philly. I saw growing up for my life, I'm 30 now, a lot of police violence in that area. A lot of people have heard about Camden County, Camden, New Jersey, and how awful it is there, how much reform that they have already had to go through. I remember in 2019 that they had a confrontation with the citizens of the town, and the police realized the citizens had more guns than the police did because they did not feel safe under police. Now, these were people of color, yes. I got out of that place because of how pale I am. That is why I'm able to stand here today and afford my own home in a town that I came to thinking this place is going to be beautiful. This is going to be a new step for me in my life. No longer under the thumb of police brutality, whether it be in the city of Philadelphia or in my hometown of Camden. And now, I think you already can tell what I think, how I fear. My name on this form is written with a shaken hand because I'm terrified just to put my address on there. Yes. I know that I perhaps you can see I'm visibly queer, and I faced a lot of different I faced a lot of officers in my time as protesting for equal rights for gay people and gay marriage. Never have I seen this. The only difference between what I have seen
here in Quakertown. Again, the name Quakertown.
The Quakers.
The fact that my only comparable experience is from Camden, where there were weapons, where there were so many guns, it overcounted them, the people, like this is disgusting. This is disgusting, this is appalling, and I don't want to be afraid to live in this town. You feel open, not just for the kids, absolutely. But there are other people here, other townsfolk who do not feel safe here anymore. I do not feel safe in this town anymore. As I said, my handwriting, throughout writing that, I'm just trying to even talk to you. And I am so nervous. I'm so scared that I will not get home today.
You're so brave.
That shouldn't be this town. I came here for a beautiful, peaceful town that I could live and thrive in. Please, as the council here, I hope you can fulfill that. I hope you can give us that town, that trust back. This is disgrace.
All right. My name is Alexa McDonald. I live at 138 Front Street, although I don't really feel that comfortable saying that because of the death threats I've been receiving. Good evening. I've lived here since I was 5 years old. I grew up here. I attended these schools, and I've called on this police department to help. Since I have found out about these student arrests, I've been making content on various social media platforms to spread awareness. The comments I've received have been absolutely disturbing. Not only have I received threats on my own life, threats to expose my personal information, I've received deranged and vile comments about the students that attended the protest. This is the community that your inaction has fostered. Yours. I want you to realize that. It's your fault. This is a community that believes it's okay to say a child deserved to be violently assaulted and blamed for using their First Amendment rights. Why the hell is Scott McElroy getting what amounts to a paid vacation while these children are enduring nonstop harassment?
Come on now.
I will talk about it. Fire the chief. Drop the charges. Thank you. Woo!
Hello, everyone, gentlemen, gentle lady. My name is Bonnie Colder. I live on Glenwood Ave, 333 Glenwood Ave. My family and I moved to Quakertown from Boyertown, PA, a cute small town known for candy shops, farm-to-table restaurants, and a train too. Something that Quakertown could be if we, made some changes. The Boyertown I grew up in told a different story, one where the Klan was visible. Corners with propaganda, working in our Halloween parades, even displaying their ropes from trees for all to see. At some point in the 2000s, the locals woke up to the hate fueling their community. They claimed the phrase, "No place for hate." The people fighting back against the hate weren't powerful. They were people like you and me. The diversity paled in comparison to the beauty we see in the diverse multi-ethnic groups within Quakertown. Yes, I am white. I know my privilege in this detail. My daughter is also lacking melanin, but within her friend group, there's a rainbow of beautiful color. She's in 4th grade. She sees the world burning. She is aware, awake, woke, if you will. She looks up to these kids because the path they walk on, she will run on. I love my daughter for all she is and what she will be in the future if she gets one. I see my girl and these kids. I ask all you adults bashing them, what are you so afraid of? Let these kids lead. They should have been praised for their bravery in the face of bigots and for having the courage to stand up. We could all learn from them.
Yeah.
On February 20th, my husband and I went out on a day date, something we don't do often. We were completely unaware of the student walkout even taking place because of the district's lack of communique about it. Through the rain, we turned onto a blocked front street. There we were met by the faces of kids wet from rain and shaking from fear, anger, trauma, you name it. They felt it. We listened to them, and I'm so glad we did because they were thoughtful, intelligent, and almost made me feel like teenagers aren't so scary. I haven't stopped thinking of them, and I wish I could have protected them more that day. But that wasn't my job. That was the chief's job. I have to say, this is the time for change in our community. And these kids are the future. You have a chance to fix what's broken in Quakertown. And I know this much. As somebody that grew up in Boyertown, I'd rather see these kids standing up in protests of the injustices in their world than anyone waving a MAGA flag on the corner. I'll say that much. Come on now. Women on the board are very important. We need more.
Yeah.
This community needs to stand up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cedar. Some of you may know me. I work over at Walmart and I live at 219 East Broad Street. I want to start out by saying that I'm proud of the students. It takes courage to stand up for something you believe in, especially when you know a lot of the people around you are going to disagree with you. Peaceful protest is not disrespectful. It's part of the American tradition. But what has honestly disturbed me even more than the incident itself is the reaction afterward. I've seen far too many comments from adults in this community celebrating what happened, praising the police chief, and saying that teenagers deserve to be choked or roughed up for protesting. Think about that for a moment. Grown adults cheering violence against kids because they don't like what those kids were protesting. That should make every one of us uncomfortable, regardless of our politics. Now, I understand that an investigation is underway and that the chief has been placed on administrative leave. But from the outside, it looks like the people in power are hoping this will simply fade away. Accountability delayed starts to look a lot like accountability avoided. If a teenager in this town put their hands around someone's throat, there wouldn't be a long, quiet process. There would be consequences immediately. So the question people in this community are asking is simple. Are the standards the same for everyone? And children should never feel like they have to stand alone when they're speaking up for something they believe in. So if they choose to protest again in the future, I will stand with them so their voices can be heard safely.
Yes.
Young people speaking out peacefully deserve to be protected, not punished by a man who decided to attack them out of uniform because he wanted to be attacked so he would have an excuse to arrest at least some of them for protesting an organization of murderous thugs he believes in. Once again, I'm proud of them. And I do not expect the officials in this room to actually remove the chief from office because I don't believe in justice. But regardless, I wanted to say my piece. Thank you for your time.
My name is Megan Amy. I live on Hillcrest, Quakertown. There's a whole generation of students here in Quakertown who are angry and scared, along with their friends, families, and neighbors. When people are scared, they do foolish things. Crime rates go up when people live in fear. Community outreach programs may see a drop in participation. What are you prepared to do to regain the trust in this community? How do you promote healthy and healing and ensure that we live in a safe environment that promotes equality, not just for the privileged class, but for all of its citizens? I won't claim to be an expert, but I will offer my suggestion. Clean your house. Remove the chief of police.
Come on now.
His actions were vile and disgraceful. Proves to this generation that these institutions are for their benefit, not our local government is not an oppressor. Proof sorry, after you clean your house, you can set the table by having the police department and the school board coordinate their efforts to allow the students to have their protest peacefully and safely without fear. Ask the school board to prepare instead of just missing school, make it a civics lesson. If there's a large voice in that school that is pro-ICE, allow them to demonstrate separately, possibly separating the two groups to prevent any clashing. Maybe allow the larger group to protest on school grounds and the smaller group to protest in front of the football field. Just a suggestion, and provide equal protection for both. This school should also provide a third option for students that don't want to be involved, like a guest speaker in the auditorium. I think the lesson must be learned here is way greater than this. When these kids were protesting ICE, or whether they were protesting changes to the lunch menu, they stood up for their constitutional and civil rights, and they were squashed by the police, or that's how they feel. So how are you going to fix it? How will you regain the trust from this community if you do not take action? This holiday season, when the police department has shop with a cop, how do you expect parents to leave their children with a police officer, even to go shopping and not have to fear for their safety? Or in April on Healthy Kids Day at the YMCA, is this going to be water under the bridge by then? It's a serious question to ask yourselves. I don't want to live in a place where crime occurs and the victims feel like they have to handle it on their own because they fear contacting the police will only victimize them further. I don't want to live in a place where citizens ask for help from biker gangs and other vigilante-style tough guys to solve their problems because they've lost faith in the establishment. You have a generation of students that are watching to see if you will take positive action. Or does the borough have a vested interest in keeping with the status quo of white supremacy, which has been a stumbling block for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in this nation since its conception? Yes. There's a short lesson that I'm going to paraphrase from Sahan Visprajith. For all those who are quietly and desperately holding peace in their heart, I want you to hear Buddha's fierce courage. He explicitly called out those who misused their influence, like the chief. He taught that when the people at the top of any group, whether it be family, a business, or community, act with greed, everyone below them suffers. He didn't tell his followers to ignore dishonesty. He taught them that standing up for what is right is your moral duty. Compassion is action. You do not have to choose between being peaceful and standing up for what's right. Toxic passivity wants you docile, but Dharma makes you brave. Thank you. If you see a heavy burden being placed on an innocent person, the spiritual response is not to sit nearby and meditate on their pain. It is to stand up and help them carry the weight. You can demand fairness, you can call out dishonesty, and you can stand as a shield for the vulnerable without letting your anger ruin your heart. Be a voice of truth without losing your center. Do not confuse peace with quiet. People who misuse their power love a quiet, passive room. Speak your truth clearly. Your voice is an instrument of justice. Making noise to stop a wrong is a righteous act. Check your fuel. You can stand fiercely against bad behavior without letting their toxicity affect your own mind. Let love of the innocent be your engine, not your bitterness towards the wrongdoers. Right action is a verb. Mindfulness requires movement, whether that means standing up to a crooked police chief or setting firm boundaries with a manipulative person or defending children whom are being choked in the streets by our own borough manager.
5 minutes, ma'am, please wrap up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never did this before. My name is Liliana Ramos. I live on 7 Scholl School Road, Quakertown. We moved here about 4 years ago. And I thought Quakertown was different. Quakertown, peace. You know, the meaning of Quakertown was so different than what I'm looking and seeing. Like, and it hurts. It hurts when I see the news. It hurts when I hear the things I'm hearing. It hurts that I have a child and he's seeing this. And it hurts. There's so many things to unpack about what's happening. so many things. Why is he posting things about immigrants should speak Spanish, speak English if you live here? You shouldn't be here otherwise.
Come on.
Why should he have a position when he's supposed to be over a whole county? This area, why is he speaking like this? And this is okay?
Why?
There's other people like us. Immigrants, we're all here. You guys were immigrants. Your families at some point.
Make our country better.
This. Germans was it Quakertown part of like Germany? The part that came over here, Quakertown was like the Quakers. They spoke German. Why are we now saying this is so bad? The people that came here for a new opportunity to try to do better and get better and be better. Why are you guys doing this? What he did, we were able to see, and he did it to children. Children.
Yes, he did.
Do we know what he's doing to other immigrants?
Come on now.
Other people, adults. If anybody questioning, look at it. Don't just say, "Oh well, he did something small." No. If this is what we saw, what didn't we see? What have we not seen? This is terrible, and you guys sitting here. I have a community of people that are immigrants, legals and illegals, but it doesn't matter because everybody's human.
Yes.
And you must treat us like humans.
Yes.
This what he did in those pictures leaves me breathless as to how is this possible in America? How can you guys talk about America being so great and allowing this to happen in Quakertown? Quakertown, peace. No fighting, so they don't go to war. Peaceful justice. Every time I rode, they had signs outside about saying justice for all, peace for all. Well, where is this? This is what you guys represent. Each one of you is there sitting, representing not just what you believe, you're representing a whole town with diversity. Because we are diverse and you need to accept it. Things are changing.
Yes.
They are. Yes, they are. And it doesn't matter if I'm white or you're black or you're orange or whatever color you want to be. We are all here with the same dream your forefathers came here for.
Yeah, Mom.
And the fact that children are standing up and trying to have their voice heard in times where it's so ugly out there, so ugly. And you guys are pushing them down? You think this is correct? You think that siding with this man that did what he did was okay? We saw it. Everybody's scared. Immigrants are scared, legal and non-legal. How are they going to go out? You don't see any of them here. Why? Because they're scared to show their face. They're scared over what they can be done to them. I would have never come and spoke. I wasn't even good. I wouldn't. I never do. But I came here for something better. And what I'm seeing is worse than wherever I have seen around the world. Like, this is ridiculous. And I have a child that's growing up, and I'm trying to teach her, no, you stand up and you do what's right for the right people. And for everyone, you do what's right. You stand with your beliefs. Be kind. The one rule I have in my house is kind. Kind to others, kind to everybody, and kind to yourself. And what are we showing? That we can get kids and strangle them in the streets because they didn't obey, because their frontal lobe is not developed 100% like his should be?
Hell no.
Or he actually thinks too, where he has a profession that he gets paid for, and he's supposed to think and analyze things, not just react. That's for the kids that still don't know how to make decisions. They're reactive. But a person in his position should not be reactive.
No.
He should have been smart. He should have had a plan. He should have protected them. Sorry, thank you so much, but we gotta do better. This is not what I signed up for. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I live in the Borough on Main Street. I'm also a Quaker school graduate. My name is Joseph Rittenhouse.
Close to the microphone.
My name is Joseph Rittenhouse. A lot of people call me Joe. Some people call me Joey. I have 6 beautiful nieces that call me Uncle Joey. And the reason that's relevant is my niece's bloody face is a stain on this town. It's a bloody face that came with the hands of Scott and the Quakertown Police Department. I want answers. I want to know what you're going to do about the culture that has created here. I want to be clear. I don't speak for her legal proceedings. Not involved in any of that. I'm an uncle that saw
my niece's bloody face for standing up for her peers. I had to teach her that. We teach her that if a man that you don't know puts his hands on you or your friends, you fight for your life. We are not doing enough to protect our children in this country, our little boys and girls. That is what this needs to be about. And this is your opportunity to hold somebody accountable that is supposed to be accountable. I have worked for years in inpatient behavioral health with juveniles. I have been punched, kicked, bitten, threatened, doxxed. Many times over, I have never responded with the violence that we all saw in that video to a child. These were not adults with weapons. I understand the police need to protect their safeties, and I support the police that do it the right way. In their uniforms with their badges and announce who they are before they put their hands on anybody, especially a child. You de-escalate. You control your rage. You control your opinions. You control your viewpoint. And if you guys are going to remain silent about that and condone his behavior and endorse that without stating it, we're going to do something about it come November. I've recently moved with my wife back to Quakertown after living here for much of my adult life. I want to start a family. I would love to start it in Quakertown. I want this to be a town to be proud to do that. And the culture that surrounds this, the undercurrent of this town, very clear where it's coming from. It's very clear where it's supported. You guys are in a position to change that. You guys are in a position to do what needs to be done. I beg of you, please serve this town. We are national news. We're national news. My niece's bloody face is one of the first things people see now when they look up Quakertown. Embarrassing. If you're okay with it, I don't think any of us are going to be okay with you sitting up there.
Come on now.
Come on now. Okay, holding him accountable for his actions. Police chief and borough manager doesn't live here though. He wouldn't be allowed to speak if he was attending this meeting, right? I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Please, I love this town. I love being a Quakertown graduate. I moved back here to start a life with my family here, where my family is from. Please do what you can about it. I want the events of that day to not be a skeleton in my niece's closet that keeps her from the future she deserves because she was brave enough to stand up for what she believes and for her peers. We see what happens with these protests all over the country. Big ego, small appendage, white men that can't control their rage, aggress on these children, and the children retaliate. And often we celebrate that. They did not know. How did they know he's a cop? I've lived here much of my life. I had no idea who he was until that day. You don't need to know who he was. He doesn't need to be a celebrity. Perhaps he was doing a great job. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But he did do a great job that day of controlling his rage, controlling his ego, de-escalating the situation, and refraining from putting his hands aggressively on children.
Yes.
Children, not adults, children. And he's faced no consequences. My niece certainly has and will continue to. We need to do the right thing. Thank you for your time and thank you for your support.
Yeah, great job.
It doesn't feel safe being here.
Move it down. Move it down. Move it down.
Did you hear what I say? It doesn't feel safe being here.
It does not.
I don't see anybody like me.
You
My name is Sylvia. I live on the main street. And by the accent, you can tell I'm an immigrant.
Thank you.
I see nobody like me. You know why? Because they're scared. So if you can do that to your own, what can you do to us? As an immigrant? Mhm. I'm raising a son as a single mother, 4.0 GPA master level student. Okay.
Yep.
Very good at what I do. I run a business. I'm an artist as well. And much of what I do is I bring culture here. I'm trying to showcase things you've never seen before. Because I believe much of what I come to think of is media is the problem. I think that where I come from, we
we're very stupid. Matter of fact, you did us a favor. You know, that's what you think. But we are coexisting. Me and you, right? I'm in human services for over 10 years. I help people. I don't discriminate anybody. If you come to me, I'm here to help you. I'm here to figure out how can we move forward. I don't do band-aids. I try to figure out how can I move you from point A to point G so you can be successful. I do believe everybody needs a chance. I never had so many chances growing up, okay? And I try to give everybody a chance. Because one thing you need to know is not everybody has a privilege that you all have seen. Not all of us have that privilege. Some of us have to work 10 times harder. Others have to work by referral. My dad, my dad went to school with you and they get where they are. So I teach my son every day that he needs to speak the truth. He needs to identify what is right and wrong. He needs to say when something is not right. But at this particular point, what I see is that you want our kids to be silent. These are the kids that will change whatever is happening today.
Come on now.
Okay? You all will not change this. I want to be sitting in this panel, but talking about something positive, not discussing this nonsense. Okay? These are kids. We are unable to call 911 for help because I don't know what else you're going to do or what else you're checking.
Wow.
Okay? I have nothing to hide.
We have 2 minutes left.
I am here to do what I came to do, to work and to exercise my right as well. Let us help each other. Police and the community, please. I am the only maybe African immigrant here, and you will never find any other citizen here listening to this because we are scared. Please. We are scared. We are scared. You need to do something about that. We are scared.
Listen, I thank you. Sandy Warner, Quakertown Township, can you hear me? I wasn't gonna talk tonight, because I'm not sure if I can talk for that kind.
You got this. You got this.
You got this. Okay. But February 20th, I had 5 children. So 3 of which are school age, 2 of which I pulled out of the district in January and am now homeschooling. And we moved here 3.5 years ago and have experienced racism since. This is not new. And if you have been looking, you would know it. And if you know it, you would want to do something about it. Because we can't go back. We can't go back. February 20th, I was taking my younger 4 children to the Please Touch Museum and I got a text message from my daughter. Mom, the protest turned violent. Is that a text message you want to get from your child in a day and age when kids are worried about getting shot up walking into school? Where my kids are called the N-word or watching other kids get called the N-word just walking in the school building.
Come on now.
And staff not doing anything about it. Where kids can download an app that sounds like a and go around and do that to kids, minority kids in the classroom.
Wow.
Is not actually address that as racism head on. I am here. Fortunately, my daughter is safe. But I am here because, not because I don't feel fear, I do. My heart is busting out of my chest right now. But courage is not the absence of fear, right? Courage is we step up, we lead, we speak, we advocate, even when there's fear. My husband is a white man, and he feared me coming here tonight. He did not want me to come. Can you imagine your wife wanting to go somewhere to help her children and you fearing for her life? I'm not here to stir a pot. I'm not here to come at you. This is a systemic issue. It predated you, and unfortunately, it will post-date you. But that doesn't mean that we can't do something about it. My name is Dr. Kimberly Warner. I am a contributing citizen.
Yes.
I am educated beyond the average citizen, and I help people. I help you. I am not dumb. My daughter is not a truant. She's a straight A student. And even if she was a truant, that doesn't give someone permission to put their hands on her with deadly force. So my question is, thank you. What is the end goal? Like, what is the trajectory that we truly want to see ourselves go towards? Because right now, it's fractured. And as a mental health clinician, what I can tell you is that things always get worse before they get better. See it all the time. Whether it's at the micro level, when I'm in individual therapy, working with someone in trauma, or the macro level, when I'm working with administrators or in school systems. See it all the time. It gets harder before it gets better. But those are opportunities. Those hard times, those tough times, even those traumatic times, they're opportunities for us to be able to choose a different path, to learn from it, to do better. And I think that we can use this as an opportunity to do better, to learn from it, to create a trajectory that says we want to unify, even though we disagree. We're never all going to agree. Even though we disagree, we can unify with human dignity at the center. That's all I ask. Consider that.
There's a little sheet right there.
Oh, I signed up over there. Is that okay? No, that's.
If you could just put it there, just so we can make sure we get your name correct. Thank you.
Ari Faber, Second Street. First, I want to say that change starts here. It starts at the local level. If we, the people of this community, can't even change your minds and correct this most obvious injustice, how can you expect us to have any faith in you at all or in this system? Scott McElroy, we all saw the video, is a clearly violent man. Scott McElroy is a criminal. Hell, I would say Scott McElroy is a terrorist. That's what I would call what his actions were. Scott McElroy does not believe or belong on leave. Honestly, Scott McElroy belongs behind bars. Now, I filed a right to know request about his history of complaints, but obviously was denied because Scott turns out to be the right to know request officer. Seems like a conflict of interest. I also want to say that there is one thing to support the police. Now, if you don't recognize the history of the 13th Amendment or how the policing industry and the prison industrial system came about, that's one thing. It's fine. You support the police. That does not mean you have to support every police in every action. If you have eyes and a brain, you can see that his actions were unjust. They were criminal. He came to this protest, which the students used their right to speak out against the most heinous of things occurring in our city or in our country. And then he came in without any uniform, any badge, and just attacked and brutalized children. It doesn't matter if you're a police officer. It doesn't matter if you're the president of the United States. If you have a brain, you can see that attacking children is disgusting. It is deplorable. It is worthy of being kicked off of your position. So one other thing I want to say is that when you even look at the history of our education system, it comes from it was directly a product of the history of the education system from the Prussian Empire, which was designed to produce factory workers. And what does the ruling class want? They don't want workers who organize, who strike, who protest. So when students go ahead and do that, the whole point is they're supposed to go to the workforce and they're supposed to be, complicit, easygoing workers. You come in, clock out. Well, these students aren't dumb. They recognize, hey, injustice is around us. And as Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It is our civil duty to organize, to resist in what we can. And what these students engaged in when they saw Officer Scott McElroy brutalize their students, their comrades, their whatever you want, their friends, they engaged in their civil duty in engaging in civil disobedience. And if you guys can't recognize that, it just shows whose side you're on, and it's the opposite side of the people. You guys have it, you have the power, and it is your duty to get this guy out of the city. I mean, it's insane the fact that he's not even behind bars. Well, I could be wrong, but I believe one student still is behind bars. That's insane. Drop all the charges. Do the right thing.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak?
My name is Jared Lingle. I'm from Kyle Circle. I've lived in Quakertown most of my life. More than 13 years I've lived here in Quakertown. Almost 3 weeks ago, I saw and heard what happened. 253 years ago, during the Boston Tea Party, taxes were enough for us to dump 90,000 pounds of tea into the ocean. Today, we're expected to beg for the right to walk down our own streets. We look back on the destruction of property by the American revolutionaries as a justified action. But today, authorities use alleged destruction of property as justification for brutality towards students. Within America are inherent contradictions. We are built on rebellion against the authority of tyranny, but we are then asked to submit to authority that rains down tyranny upon us. The Supreme Court has ruled several times that police have no obligation to protect people. Instead, the police's main priority is to protect property.
Right. That's right.
This is the reason why it's acceptable to choke children, but unacceptable for students to protest near private property. Here I stand in the corpse of a political machine that became only political theater. I stand over here asking for action in the face of injustice, and you sit up there listening, but not acting. History will not look kindly on your apathy, your willingness to do nothing. In conclusion, fire Police Chief McElroy.
Fire him.
Is there anyone else?
We go on let me speak.
Good evening, everyone. My name's John Taylor. I live on Penrose Street, in the Quakertown Borough. Just speaking tonight, just in support of the kids, just to give a little background. I had many years in education as a shop teacher. I also had many years working in the township entity as a pool manager. So I work around kids quite often from all walks of life. And it is incredibly difficult job to do right now, but I just don't want to harp on that. I just want to know that, you know, I'm conducting interviews right now for kids to have a summer job at the township. And those kids come from all walks of life, and we employ each and every one of them that we can, that allows for the positions that we do have. As in my time as a shop teacher, I don't have like the most well-behaved kids that go through like an industrial arts shop teacher program. But you know, it was rough in the beginning, but I developed patience for that. Part of that as well was just getting training to handle some of the the things that the kids go through, because, you know, as mentioned before, their brains just aren't fully developed. I'm trying not to judge on everything that I see on social media. I mean, can you imagine being young, like at our age, and seeing what we can see on the phone? It's just it's unimaginable to me. But the kids are seeing it. And on another note too, I'm very thankful for the police force for helping us out over the years in the school districts and also at my pool as well, because it's a public pool and we'll have issues to deal with. So I'm very thankful for that. But I guess just my own suggestion here is just get educated about it. The time is right. Sit in a classroom, maybe reach out, just go observe, just develop that relationship again. Whoever's in this public entity here in this room, who's in a position of power, go sit in a classroom, start that process there. Just see what it is in the day of a kid. And just from that, you can learn a lot. Also, from where I've worked over the years, we've had to bring in some people, some experts to talk to us. We've had a couple of racial incidents at the place that I worked at in the summertime. So with my own staff, under my own direction, and we had to deal with that. So we brought in some people, some firms to deal with that, to educate us on certain things. Those people were wonderful. I went in there like thinking, what's this going to be like? And it was an eye-opening experience. So whatever you think, when you're plugged in and working with youth, whether a teacher, manager, or whatever you do here, the messages to the kids. We adults have screwed up. Please start. Just try to believe in us. Let's see what we can take this thing to grow and learn from what we've experienced here. And I'm getting all preachy. I just didn't know what to say. Like I said, I'm really good at teaching the table saw and directing a kid on how to operate have a lifeguard and things of that nature. But to the kids there hanging there, it's a very volatile world. Maybe we just need to filter what we see online and just start having conversations with kids. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no one? Does the council wish to adjourn the meeting?
All right, thank you everyone for their public comment, and we will adjourn this evening at 9:15.
I don't know because yeah. I was like, I can't, but it's a big but yeah, that's what I'm here. No, I just, but I just went, I say, you made that number. Yeah. Anyways, I think like,
Yeah, well.
So I don't think it's really. That is right. But if you, I might be getting called, if you look up the calculator.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, you do. But yeah, I swear.
I was about to say, how do you go? Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. Good. I'm good. How about you?
I'm chilling, brother. You know the vibe.
Yeah.
My nose running, bro.
No, you're good. You're good.
Good to see you outside the music shop.
Oh yeah, right.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah, all right. Hey.
I've been meaning to stop in. I'm due for strings. So.
Come on, man.
I'll be there.
All right.
I'll be there.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for coming out and speaking.
Yes.
Stairs are a little slippery.
Have a good night.
Thanks. Excuse me. Thank you.
Another night.
Still rolling.
Oh, there's another night in Quakertown.
Oh yeah.
I have to find are you on Instagram?
Just my business on page.
I want to, so that stream is on YouTube?
This is on YouTube. Yes.
Okay. When you get a chance, no rush. I want to share the link to your stream because I cut it off. Mine is going to die.
Gotcha.
So I want to share your.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Send it to me on wherever.
Thought I put it in one of your posts, but maybe not. But yeah, I'll DM it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
If you DM it to me on TikTok, I can share it on.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. No problem.
It's easier to link stuff on Instagram, like Instagram.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Good to see you.
No, thanks.
Remind me your first name?
John.
John Kelsey.
I'll forget. Sorry.
Oh, I've met a lot of people.
I know. Me and names though, horrible.
You had incredible vibes.
I just am tired.
Incredible.
Aren't we all tired?
Very tired woman.
That is what I was.
I want to beat the fuck out of these demons, but I have to do it verbally.
Give me everything and need to stay in.
I have to do it.
Just saying. I mean, they can do it to us.
I know your name.
Okay.
Yeah, I
There was this like little like synapse in my brain that like fired off when he was like something about, like we gotta all be polite.
Are you from here?
Like genuinely go fuck yourself. Like genuinely go fuck
They could
yourself.
have done something tonight. They don't need to worry for an investigation.
No.
They choose not to.
No. And they were also
Same every-
misleading people, making it seem like, oh, it's so crowded
Yeah,
up
I
there.
put my friends away.
It wasn't. I mean, fire code maybe for the room, but still.
But I would argue
There
I
were
would argue firefighters would disagree.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Like I would argue.
Yeah.
And then also the strategy of, and I knew what the strategy was, but the strategy of all the people who've made public comment can leave now to like, you know what I mean?
They could just fill.
Disintegrate the room.
Yeah.
I can't think
They
of
could
it.
filter people in and out. Maybe too.
But they were like, let's try to make it something that's
Yeah.
stupid as hell.
They do it all the time.
All the time.
Anytime they get held up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I started.
It was nice to meet you, celebrity in person, because I follow him on social media. It's
Oh,
also nice to meet
is
you,
he a
celebrity.
celebrity?
Yeah, he is.
Oh no!
He is a celebrity. No, he is. I think he's a cuts down activist celebrity. That's how I recognize his face.
Y'all, I'm trying to get is there any group centralized chat for
Signal.
this shit?
There should be signal. There should be signal.
Is there a signal for everybody? Because there's motherfucking opportunists and fucking revolutionary theatrics that are still And blame the white
Quakertown
woman.
Borough, take care of your shit. Look at this. Look at this. Your steps are literally breaking.
Charge me with felony aggravated step breaking.
No, but I was saying it's too, but yeah, you're right.
No, not here.
Aggravated I'm sure they're not
I
happy.
do continue streaming when I leave just to
If I can't say.
security reasons. Sorry, I mute for the sidebar conversations though. It's like they're CBS is currently editing in the truck. CBS there. 6 ABC. Doing their thing. All right, everyone. Hey, thank you for oh, that's the boomer angle right there. Jesus. All right, everyone. So thanks for coming in. For showing up, for watching. Please again like this stream, share this stream, share it with anyone. They didn't take any action tonight. It wasn't on the agenda, which is bullshit. They should just fire him, frankly. So whatever. That's what it is at this point. But yeah. So we keep charging, we keep pressing. So thanks everyone for stopping in.